Hi everybody, Hellcracks here, and welcome to Thoughts from a Dystopian World, Episode 5. And today, we're going to discuss the Federated States of America Battleship, the Independence class. Yes, the Independence. It was the first battleship ever put out from the dockyards from the Federated States. FSA. Alright, one that was always found in all the original box sets. You got one with everyone. So you got 3 cruisers, a battleship, and 9 frigates, and a couple aircraft. Bombers, A-17s. Now, the Independence is 180 points. So, not bad. It doesn't break the bank for a capital ship. For a battleship. It's considered a large naval capital ship, so it can shoot over frigates and all the little small craft out there, like your escorts and corvettes. So that's one handy thing. Squadron size obviously is 1, minimum movement of 2. So if you have a internal kinetic generator on it, so if you roll a 6, you got to automatically go for 8. So there you go. Or actually 6, 8, yeah. Now, the crew type is aggressive. So, with an aggressive crew, when they go into battle, so if you rocket across and invade someone else's ship, you hit them on a 3. And unfortunately, if the ship gets attacked from an invading force, they can only hit on a 4. So, yeah, it's not all necessarily in your favor, but they are very good in boarding actions. So they work good for just rocket across and taking enemy ships. Now, we have a plethora of weapon systems on board this thing. We have the fore and aft main turrets on this thing. So you have 2 main turrets, which are 4 range band range. It's just like any of the other ones for the main guns that you find in the game with these things. It's 12 dice at 1, 10, 8, and 6. So if you have a target out there at range band 4 and you link them together, you're going to roll 9 dice together. And this does have sustained fire, so but it's only 1. Which is kind of interesting, is that you have a sustained fire 1 with these guns. So if you have a target out there and you miss with 1 of the 9 dice, you get to re-roll it. Alright, and hopefully you hit with it. So that is one handy thing. This ship usually works really best in range band 3, works good in range band 4, or 2 and 3. Alright. So if you get this thing into range band 3, then you can throw in your port and starboard broadside. So if you angle this ship just right, you can get your broadside in. It's only 3 dice, but 3 dice against a cruiser or something of that nature. It doesn't have any shields. Well, you have a good chance of, if you roll good, you can maybe do a point of damage. Yeah, probably 5 times, 6 times out of 10, you're not going to do anything. But there's always that chance that there's been times I roll 3 dice and get 3 6s. So right there on a cruiser is a crit chance. So I kind of like that. It's never hurts just to throw your dice and see what happens. And then once you're in range band 3, your rocket battery which is got 9 dice, 360 degree arc. And that's nothing to sneeze about. 9 dice at a cruiser or even a battleship has a good chance of doing at least a point of damage. Or against cruisers, typically you might be able to do a crit. But there's been times where, as we like to say, I got a DR the hard way. That means you didn't get any 6s involved. It was all straight just 4s and 5s. I've done that before, and that's what we always say. When you hit somebody up, you got 7 hits, or let's say if it's a cruiser, I got 5 hits the hard way. And people go, oh, okay. They know exactly what you mean. There's no re-rolling involved at all. That's just kind of a game thing that we always did when we played the game. Now, when you get into range band 2, this is where you get your fore and aft volley guns involved. Now, the volley guns, they only shoot out the range band 2 at these. They have a firing arc of 90 degrees to the front, 90 degrees to the aft, depending on if it's the fore battery or the aft battery volley guns. And yeah, when you get in the range band 2, that's 4 dice shooting forward. So if you're possibly into later in stage where you're actually shooting at targets in range band 2, that's probably frigates and corvettes. Or possibly even flyers that have moved into your fore and aft. If you got somebody in your aft arc, that's probably going to be corvettes or frigates. And when you hit them that way, you're only hitting probably on 5s. So, with 4 dice, the odds are against a frigate, you probably maybe do a point of damage. A lot of times you're not going to do anything, but there's always that chance. And you could always blow that frigate that you're targeting out of the water too. That happens. Now, if you get into range band 1, obviously with the main turrets, you're going to have a +1, or actually it's a -1 to shoot at any targets, because P weapons in range band 1 only hit on 5 and a 6 unless you get a target painter. Then you hit on a 4, 5, or 6. And this does not have a target painter. So the only ship at the moment we discussed is the Dreadnought. So if your Dreadnought has one and you got a Independence battleship and you target paint somebody, it doesn't hurt to hammer them hard with the main turrets in range band 1, because if you have both of them, that's 18 dice. That's going to really leave a mark on somebody. And then if you have somebody in range band 3, that's kind of like how I like to use this ship is, all right, if you get into range band 2, hit them with the broadside, hit them with the main turrets. If you got one target, hit them with broadsides and turrets on the same target. And if you got somebody in your 4-gun area, hit them with those dice. And then the rocket battery, I always take, who's sitting in range band 3 that I can target. It's a decent target. I'll hit them with the rocket batteries, because you get 1 extra die for shooting somebody in 3rd range band. So just kind of look for an extra target. If somebody is maybe 1 point away from, after you hit them with the turrets, after you hit them with the broadside, and they got 1 turret or 1 point left, and they're in your 2nd range band, I'd probably throw 8 at them too, because it's like, all right, I'm going to just try to obliterate them. But you have to make your decision before you roll any dice. All right, these are going here, these are going there, and these are going here. So you pick your targets and then roll the dice and see what happens. You can't just go, oh, fire the turrets. All right, okay, I pick another target. Oh, you can't do that. You have to pick your targets before you start rolling. So if you really want to tear somebody up, just pick on one ship. Now, like we talked about the MAR on board. Actually, I didn't talk about the DR and the CR. The DR7, which is pretty good because Federated States ships have a +1 DR, so typically a normal battleship is a 610, like a Bretonnian ship, Kingdom of Bretonia. A Cobb or a Prussian ship is typically a 610. Americans have a +1, so they're a 710. If you do 10 hits with a barrage or some type of turreted weapons or something of that nature, then you're going to do a CR. And you roll on that crit table and see what happens. They have a movement of 6, which I've talked about before, which is pretty standard with the capital ships for the Americans. 8 hull points, which isn't bad. It'll stick around for a while, unless it gets concentrated on by some dreadnoughts, cruisers. You can destroy a battleship in 1 turn, easily. you know, you get some good crit hits, it's gone. But it's going to take 4 crit hits to take out a battleship, or 8 DR hits. And there have been many times where I've seen ships take at least 8 DR hits before they're gone. One interesting thing is this ship, you know, you have the option of going with a external shield generator or a kinetic generator in place of your rocket battery. A lot of times when I'm running the battleship, this one, the Independence, I probably just keep running the rocket battery just for firepower. It's 2 dice because it only has a shield generator 2. 2 dice is starting to get to that point where you're like, is it worth the 10 points or not? So 190 points, and kind of try to turn it a little more tanky, as they like to say, where they can suck up the damage possibly, and then try to mitigate some of that. Oh, it's up to you. There's most of the time, I say 6. Actually, it depends on what I'm facing. If I'm facing a fleet that has a lot of shooting coming your way, yeah, the odds are I'm probably just going to run with straight rockets and try to kill them as fast as possible. But there are other times I was like, okay, I might go with, if this is your only heavy capital ship, for your, like, this is your only battleship, you don't have, this is the biggest ship in your fleet, I might go with a shield generator. Try to keep it around long as possible. And obviously, for no points at all, you can run the kinetic generator and try to speed it across the battlefield and across that water and see if you can get it into range band 3 as quick as possible. So that is a possibility for no points. 10 points, you can upgrade this ship with an elite crew. So if you want to rip it across the water quick as possible, get in, knock down, hit somebody that has their defenses are down, so they don't have any ack-ack, just run your AP points, assault points. You have 9, depending if you still haven't taken any damage on the ship. Jump them across. Have an elite crew. They'll hit on a 3+, and they'll defend on a 3+. So for that 10 points, it's worth having a hitting on a 3. So you can take another enemy ship out really quick that way. The ack-ack on this thing is 7. Concussion, so taking out torpedoes and that kind of stuff, is only 6. But sometimes 6 dice coming with a torpedo run coming your direction, 6 can actually do the job and knock something down. And then if you have escorts, because this can take escorts, 1 to 3 escorts, and you add those in there, that's a possibility that you can just shut down. There's been many games where I'm facing up against like the Bretonians, even though the Bretonians and the Americans are supposed to be allies. Yeah, I played so many games against the Bretonians that they're kind of like, you're the enemy kind of mentality. So maybe we just call it war games. How about that? Yeah. Knocking down their torpedoes. They carry a lot of torps, so it sometimes is worth having an escort or 2 attached to one of these things just to keep those torpedoes from impacting on your hull. And if you run into somebody, obviously your ram rating is 5. So 5 dice against somebody. 5 dice against a indiscriminate attack, basically, against a frigate or a corvette, usually will nuke it. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. Now, one thing I've been forgetting to talk about is that volley guns have basically the rule of what, like, redoubtable, where let's say you have 2 points of damage on your ship. Normally, if you have 2 points damage, hull point damage on your ship, let's say you got your main turrets in range band 2. They normally do 10. for 2 points of damage, they're only going to have 8 dice each. So the most you could do with your 2 turrets linked together is 12 damage instead of 15, or 12 dice instead of 15. Same thing with your broadsides. They'll drop it down to 4, and then let's say your 4.5 volley guns. If you have somebody in your fore arc and your aft arc, you would say, all right, you only get 2 dice. But with volley guns, there'll be 3 instead, because for every 2 points is actually 1 type of thing. So you get to roll 3 dice instead of 2. So it's in your favor. And then obviously rocket batteries don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. That's the nice thing about rockets. Lots of rockets. So it's your friendly, flying through the friendly skies, cause damage to your enemies. So that is pretty much it when it comes to the Independence, the American battleship, the very original American battleship. I've painted I don't know how many of these things. They're kind of nice. I like them. They're a good little ship. So if you have one, take it out. If you haven't, now that's the interesting thing is if you see them on eBay or places like that, there's still boxes being sold of these fleets. If you're looking for a fleet, just look on eBay. You'll find one. They pop up every once in a while. So there you go. Like and subscribe. Share with all your friends. Go out there in the high seas and have fun. All right. Elk Rex out.